What happens when water becomes a weapon? On April 23rd, 2025, India took an unprecedented step, announcing that the Indus Waters Treaty, a landmark water-sharing agreement with Pakistan, is now in abeyance.
The Indus Waters Treaty of 1960 will be held in abeyance with immediate effect until Pakistan credibly and irrevocably abjures its support for cross-border terrorism.
The move came just days after the terror attack in Pahalgam that left 26 civilians dead and reignited tensions between the two nuclear-armed neighbours. For over 6 decades, the Indus Waters Treaty withstood the pressures of conflict, surviving the wars of 1965, 1971, and the 1999 Kargil War, as well as decades of political strain. Now, for the first time, India signals a formal departure. Welcome to Deep Dive with Outlook. I'm Aranya Mukherjee, and today we will explore the history, legal frameworks, and implications of the abeyance on Indo-Pakistan relations. But what does this suspension really mean? Can a country simply pause an internationally binding treaty? And at what cost? The Indus Waters Treaty, brokered by the World Bank in 1960, divides control over 6 rivers between India and Pakistan. Pakistan received the 3 western rivers, Indus, Jhelum, and Chenab. India retained control over the eastern rivers, Ravi, Beas, and Satluj. The treaty allowed for India to have limited agricultural use and hydroelectric development on the western rivers, but did not permit any alteration to their natural flow. Projects like the Baglihar Dam on the Chenab and later the Kishanganga project on the tributary of the Jhelum sparked regular disputes. Pakistan accused India of violating the treaty's intent, alleging that withholding and manipulation of vital hydrological data occurred. India has maintained that it has operated within the treaty's parameters. So, can a treaty simply be paused? Under international law, the answer is not so straightforward. Under the Vienna Convention of the Law of Treaties signed by both India and Pakistan, international treaties are binding. Suspension is allowed only under what is called Article 62, which requires a fundamental change of circumstances that makes the treaty impossible to carry out. Legal experts remain divided on whether the Pahalgam attack meets that threshold. The Indian government argues that it can no longer sustain cooperation after repeated cross-border attacks. Pakistan has dismissed the linkage, rejecting the claim as unfair and unlawful, warning that this move could violate global diplomatic norms as well as Article 54 of the Geneva Convention that prohibits attacks on civilian objects like water infrastructure, especially if it's essential for the survival of civilian populations. There's more than just legality at stake. For Pakistan, the Indus is not just a river system, it is an agricultural backbone. Over 80% of farmland and around 1/3 of hydropower generated depends on water from the Indus Basin. Experts say that India lacks the massive storage infrastructure and extensive canal systems needed to withhold tens of billions of cubic meters of water from the western rivers. Even if infrastructure is created, the suspension's immediate impact is limited by geography. Roughly 97% of Pakistan's water flows naturally, driven by glacial melts and monsoon rains. India's capacity to regulate this flow, as of now, is restricted to around 1.5 million acre-feet, a fraction of the total amount. The danger for Pakistan lies in the long term. If India builds a full 3.6 million acre-feet of storage, it could manipulate seasonal flows, delay critical water releases, especially during Pakistan's sowing seasons. Whether the Indus will provide a bridge for cooperation or become another front for conflict will depend on how both nations and the world respond in the months ahead. Thank you for watching Deep Dive with Outlook, and stay tuned for more explainers like this.